Yo, what's up, everybody? I feel like it's been a long time. Actually, no, I shouldn't. I should feel like, rather. It definitely has been a long time. It's been like 2 weeks or something like that. But, man, I have definitely enjoyed kicking it and not doing much of anything other than eating like pozole and tamales, lechon, I ate a lot of. I basically had dessert with everything too. I had dessert with had dessert with breakfast. I had sugar dessert. But anyway, just want to say what's up to everybody. Hope everyone's doing good. I'm back. I already went to. I just went to. Who was it? Jake Paul and Addison Gibb. Edison Gibb, something like that. Um, their press conference in Miami, or for their fight in Miami. Um, but they were kind of lit. They were like not as pissed off at each other as JJ and Logan, but they definitely were talking a lot of crap. Some tow truck is pulling over. Got my attention over here. Anyway, oh, some motorcycle dude got pulled over. His detail. Anyway, yeah, that was good stuff. Are you guys into this YouTubers fighting? I'm into it, just because all you guys tend to like it. So I got a lot of views from that last time. But I live streamed the whole press conference. It's up already. If you guys want to peep it out. Um, I was in the front row, so I got good stuff. Gib pushed. What's up, Joe? Gib kind of weakly pushed, to be honest. Jake Paul, he wasn't really trying to push it, anyway. But yeah, that was cool. It was good, kind of getting back in the swing of things of interviewing people again and kind of prepping questions. It wasn't kind of my normal. I don't know much about Jake Paul or Gib. Talked to Logan Paul, which was cool too. He's a cool dude. He gave me a really good interview talking about the whole possible fight with AB. He gave me a really interesting reason why he wasn't at his best against KSI, which is kind of funny. Bacon and Harry are leaving. What? I didn't know that. Oh shit, dumbass didn't even plug in the damn headphone. I was just talking shit. It's probably all hella loud. Is that better? Better audio? What's up, bruh? Oh, pound for pound list. Pound for pound list. I'm not used to it with the F. I'm used to it with the 4, like a number 4. So I was like PFP. But obviously the way you said it actually makes more sense. Let's see, pound for pound, top 3. Man, I don't know. I haven't really thought about the order really, but I'll say Wilder's in the top 5 rather. I'll give you top 5. So Wilder's in the top 5. Canelo obviously. Crawford, Lomachenko. What is that? 4. Who kind of rounds out the top 5? Maybe Triple G. Maybe Inoue. I feel like I'm missing somebody big. Oh, he's literally big. Usyk should probably be on the pound for pound list. In the top 5. That's probably my top 5. Those 5 dudes. That was in no particular order. I gotta think of the order. That's a good question. Let me clean this lens real quick. I'm editing as I'm in traffic. because that's what you have to do, really. Because I'm in LA traffic, this shit is terrible. What's your pound for pound list? Give me your guys' pound for pound list that are watching. Oh man, we are in the dead of traffic. I am, man. I feel like I was a little anxious going into today. More just because I haven't done it in a while. But it was good getting back, man. I'm hyped. I'm excited to be back. I gotta visit a gym before the end of the week. I feel like I gotta try to visit. Maybe I'll visit like Robert's gym or something. Two Loma. One Loma, two Crawford, three Usyk. That's a good one. Four Canelo, five Triple G. Yeah, man. I do feel Wilder should be in the top five. He hasn't lost since, or wait, no, he hasn't lost, right? No, yeah, he hasn't lost. I was thinking he just didn't knock out Shavern. That's how much of a pound for pound fighter that Wilder really should be considered, is that, the only thing you could kind of consider a blemish is his. Oh well, I guess he did got a draw against Fury, but damn that fight though. I talked to a lot of people about that fight today. I talked to Gib about it, Riley, the Gibbs trainer, also what's his name's trainer, KSI's trainer. Hello person, cutie pie, driving next to me. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I talked to Sugar Shane about it, so that'll be cool. I really need to prepare better though. Like I started charging my stuff in the morning, and I lost a lot of battery. But what fights are you guys looking forward to in this coming year? Man, I saw the little Twitter exchange between Crawford and Spence. I hope they get that together. I do feel Spence needs like at least one decent fight. Like, Spence should probably get some type of tune-up. Just after the car accident, I don't know. I mean, I guess he's okay. He looked fine, but I don't know. He should get at least one solid fight before taking on Terrence. But man, I hope that Terrence fight happens this year. Cause just like Andy Ruiz, it's like AJ and Wilder. You keep messing around and giving these other hungry cats opportunities, man. Someone's gonna take advantage of it. Spence, hero and legend. Spence will beat TC. I don't know, man. Maybe. That's really a 50-50 fight. Before I definitely thought Terrence had the upper hand in that fight, just because of all the all the tricks he has under his belt. Like, he can go left-handed. He fights left-handed. Like, he makes that choice. Like, but he's really better right-handed. What was that, bro? Spence keep at bay with the jab. Maybe. I'm not saying he doesn't. See, the thing is, I don't think Terrence is the type of fighter to. I disagree with that in the sense that like that's how the whole fight goes, because truthfully, Spence isn't the type of fighter to just get kind of neutralized by a jab. Like, the jab could be hard and all that, but I feel Terrence is kind of the fighter that will, is kind of kill or be killed. Like, if you're going to beat me, like, you're going to beat the shit out of me, because he wants to fight. He wants to prove that he's better. So, I mean, maybe the jab will be, a big part of the fight for sure. But they both have great jabs. And Terrence will probably fight Spence left-handed. And, no one likes fighting southpaws, including southpaws.
Um, so I don't know, man. Spence is better for boxing if Spence wins. How's that? I just think TC is not ready for Spence. Maybe. Why is it better for boxing though if Spence wins? Because they have all the names there, over there. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that necessarily. I feel like actually, if you're talking better for boxing, I don't know what's better for boxing really. The thing, okay, so let's talk about that. If Spence wins, Spence is gonna fight all these dudes anyway. So this whole, that side of the street nonsense, like if you think about it in that sense, Spence is already with that side of the street. So as far as Spence is concerned, like he's already gonna fight these dudes. He was gonna fight Danny Garcia, like at Staples or something in January. I'm saying at Staples. I'm hoping at Staples because it's here in LA. But the thing, so when you think about, I don't think Top Rank is bad at making deals. They made the ESPN deal. They made a lot of people rich. Made Oscar De La Hoya rich. They made Floyd rich. But also they got Fury Wilder done. Two at least. I don't know. But see, when you think about it, if Terrence were to win, right, then see, traffic let up. Now I'm actually driving. If Terrence if Terrence won, then now all these other fighters kind of have to deal with Terrence, and they have to deal with Top Rank because Terrence kind of has the number one spot at welterweight, and it's if he were to beat Spence, clear. So now Danny, now Keith, now Shane, now Sean, they could fight Spence, and not to say just because TC beats Spence once, that's it, he's a better fighter of all time ever. Like that's not necessarily true, but just in the immediate aftermath. Well, if Terrence were to beat Spence, then now all these guys, if they stay under the PBC, under that side of the street thing, and don't fight Terrence, they're fighting for second place at that point. So I would disagree with that. I would disagree that it's better for boxing if Spence were to win. You could maybe even argue that it's better for boxing if TC wins. That has nothing to do with who I think wins or care to win. Let's see. Hold on, my bad. I'm trying to read what you guys are saying. Let me catch some traffic real quick. Only they left. Who left? Burner's one cheap guy. Worked for him in the shy. Oh, I'm not saying Bob isn't cheap. I don't know. Actually, I just don't know. So, but I mean, people have. I guess people have if they have enough money, or if they made enough money under Bob, like such as like Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd, like all these guys made their money, with Bob. I'm not saying he's like giving the best deals out there or anything like that, but he might. I don't know. But now that you said the better for boxing thing, I don't know. That's a good question. Shane was real kind of on the fence about that as well, about as far as who would take that fight, and he does want Spence to get at least like one fight before that, just because of the accident. Who knows? What happens with the accident. Let's see, Spence with PBC. It's not the most disgusting fight ever. Not disgraceful. Whoa! Why are you mad at Mikey? Ever with Mikey Garcia? It's a disgrace to all of boxing. Wow, did you lose a lot of money on Mikey? Honestly, think MMA is where It's at. I still love boxing, but MMA is where it's at, man. Thinking about MMA is or at least in really in both. Well, at least both major promotion companies like Bellator and UFC. MMA is especially in the UFC. It's very much the best fight the best, and that's it. Like there's no. That's it. You're just fighting the best. That's your choice. Fighting the best. Um, or they kind of shelf you for, or I don't know. I mean, I know guys kind of like coming up, or I don't know. UFC's UFC's pay structuring, I feel, might have to take a change. Um, I don't know. Fighting is going to get a lot bigger than it already is. Um, what does that say? Hey, Ricardo, appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, you know what, man? One of my goals this year. Oh, just to finish up on the UFC. UFC is where it's at thing, or MMA is where it's at thing. I appreciate the though, Ricardo. Appreciate them, and I will be doing more live streams. I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, I feel the fact that the best have to fight the best. I talked to Sean Merriman today, and he has his lights out promotion, his like MMA lights out promotion stuff. Sean Merriman's a big ass dude, by the way. He's a large, like fucking big ass fucking football player, dude. Like I'm around football players and dudes like that, like, and then I was watching the playoffs this weekend. Like that shit, these motherfuckers are like, that's full contact. They're it's anyway, it's scary. Anyway, Sean Merriman said I asked him about Cerrone and McGregor. He's kind of leaning toward McGregor, but when I talked to him about Khabib and Ferguson, he's just kind of the best are fighting the best. I think he leaned more towards Khabib, but that's the deal with MMA is that the best fight the best. But the problem with that as well is that like these guys are fighters that go through grueling fight camps. So when they go through grueling fight camps, so when like they're just when they hear that like Canelo's making 30 million, you know, you know, whatever what was it, 300 something, 64 million, whatever it was. These guys are making, $100,000 fight like win bonus, and kind of they're a lot of them are in the hundreds of thousands. I want to say there's very few that are in the millions. The John Joneses, Connor. I want to say probably Khabib is probably up there now. That are like probably DC, even Stipe. So I like that's that structuring is going to have to change for UFC at least to keep its kind of like monopoly like hold on MMA. But I do agree with you in the sense that that's why the product has risen so quickly, and that's why a lot of people I get a lot of people telling me MMA is better just because the best are fighting the best all the time. I understand that. But Ricardo, thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother. I am going to do more live streams. The goal hello. The goal this year is to I already missed one of them, but I want to every Monday do like a live stream or do put out like an episode like at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Maybe I need to move that time up. Maybe 6 p.m. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But if I'm gonna go live, I'll probably go live about 7. But if not, just release a video every Monday at 7 p.m. Just talking about like do a fight recap of whatever fights happened that weekend. I don't get to catch all the fights because sometimes I'm working and there's another fight happening. But I got to try to get better at that. So I'm gonna try to get better at that this year. And do my best. And this way, you guys get like a KO fight recap. Because I need to put on more content out there. I feel like also I'm getting lazy. Not I'm getting lazy, but I like when I am given a break, when boxing or MMA gives me a break, like it did these last few weeks, which I hard on myself because I feel like I definitely didn't do a lot of work, at least YouTube work. I did a lot of getting my life together type work, um, which was needed. I'm glad, but I'm back now, so I'm excited to be back. I appreciate you guys still being around watching. That's why MMA is better, the best, always fighting the best. Man, that's why I say, oh, dude, the best fight the best. I will say though, you don't anticipate a fight as much. I feel like in MMA as you do like in boxing, and I guess that kind of depends, right? Um, but like for instance, like so, who are like, so Khabib and Tony are fighting in April. Now that's a highly anticipated fight. Unfortunately, Tone, like they both kind of had long injury layoffs, like before, which kind of I think halted their at least both of their rises. Probably more so in this case, Tony, because I feel that just because, really the only reason is because Khabib then like momentum steamrolled with the whole like Khabib and Artem, and then Connor threw the thing at the bus, and like all that steamrolled that whole fight. But see, that's why UFC, that's why that fight was like highly anticipated, because you were like, oh man, these fools have been beefing since forever. And then they finally got the fight together. Like boxing does good job of building anticipation for fights. I will say though, the problem is sometimes these fights don't even work out because of politics and all that nonsense. Like, in all honesty, we might not get TC and Spence, because one of them might get beat, and then like just like look like Wilder and Joshua. Like, it's still a cool fight. But it doesn't have, like, you can't say, the two undefeated, guys anymore. Like, AJ has a loss. AJ's been knocked down 4 times by Andy Ruiz. So now everyone's like, well, shit, Wilder just has to touch him now. So the luster of that came off. You know what I mean? So that's kind of part of the problem with boxing and letting the anticipation build too much, is that then the thing goes stale, and then you don't get it. Sometimes you don't get it at all. So yeah, that's like, I feel Wilder Fury should be talked about a lot more. Like, I'm glad I talked about it, and I feel like other people talked about it as well. But let's see, Omar Cruz, Jesse Vargas over Mikey Garcia. Because Mikey let me down. What? Are you the dude that was hating on Mikey earlier, Omar? Oh no, that was Ricardo. Because Mikey let me down. Man, you guys gotta understand, Spence a big ass dude, man. Spence will be a middleweight before his career is over. And truthfully, Mikey probably should max out at like 140. Like, he probably shouldn't have been at welterweight. Mikey tried, man. I know Mikey was trying. He just, Spence is too big of a dude. You win, you lose. So whatever one lose, lets you down, Omar. Oh man, Mikey versus Jesse Vargas. Let's talk about that fight. I like that fight. Jesse Vargas is one of the not a smaller welterweight, to be honest. He is a decent sized welterweight. He's a regular sized welterweight. He's usually in shape too. But that is a good scrap. But like I said, Mikey's kind of a small guy, man. Mikey's kind of a small dude. It's a good fight. I like that fight. I didn't get to go to their, what's it called? No, Mikey was just talking about. I didn't get to go to Mikey and Vargas's press conference. I was still sick at the time after Saudi, but their height difference looked pretty substantial. Yeah, it's a good fight. It's a good. That's a good scrap there. I wonder how people. Now that I'm thinking about it more, I feel the victory was obviously bigger for Jesse Vargas, just because it's Mikey Garcia. But I hope people give. If that were to happen, I hope people would give Jesse Vargas credit. Just, I know Mikey's, is coming up from lightweight a fight ago, but there's still Mikey Garcia, still a good fighter. Mikey's a great fighter. I'd really like to see Mikey go back down to lightweight, but the problem is all these dudes are busy. Like, the real challenge is, those dudes, like really, Lomachenko is the biggest name there. Teofimo's making a name for himself. I really hope that fight's on this end, but it's probably meant to be like in the Barclays. But that'll be a good fight. Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh man, I've been missing all the comments. Virgil Jaron Ennis. You know, bro, I don't know who Jaron Ennis is. Sorry, who is Jaron Ennis? And who does he fight under so I can peep him out? What about this weekend? Munguia. Munguia lets himself open. It could be bad news. Yeah, true. I feel that Munguia is a little wild. But I don't think Gary O'Sullivan is mid-fight. Yeah, I think it's an appropriate middleweight fight. We'll see what his power looks like up there. Who dusted Sullivan? Who was that? The Canadian dude fought Lemieux. I think he did, right? He jacked him up, didn't he, or something like that? Didn't he like KO him real quick? Yeah, it was like first round or something like that, right? Munguia keeps his mouth open. I think you're right about that. It's probably not a good call. Yeah, he knocked out Sullivan super quick, and Lemieux does have good ass power. Let's not, he's a world class power puncher, but as far as power wise, so we'll see. I mean, but so we'll see what Munguia could do. It's definitely one of those like measuring stick type fights, which is a disrespect to Gary. But it's kind of one of those things like you got to win a big fight to then, you know what I mean, range in there, and he keeps getting opportunities. You guys just got to win one, bro. Let's see. Oh, as always, it comes in heavy. Who came in heavy? Munguia came in heavy? Oh, he always comes in heavy. Oh, Gary, or who does? Who do I want to... Oh, Lemieux. Yeah. I think... Did he come in heavy that time? Let's see. Who do I want to see Pacquiao fight next? I want to see Pacquiao fight... I'm trying to give you realistic options here, because Terrence isn't a real option. Which I don't know if I'd want to see that fight, really. I feel like Terrence is the new guard already. Pacquiao's still great. Shit, Pacquiao might could be in the at least in the top 10 pound for pound after beating Keith, because Keith is a real dude. I hate that Keith always has hand issues or some injury. I hate that, because he's like Sean Porter. He like wants all the smoke with everybody. He doesn't care win, lose, draw. He just wants to fight. And Sean's like that too. So it Spence, in all honesty. Um, but I think Keith and Sean are a little more like demanding of it, as to where maybe like Danny Garcia's cool with taking like a, like a tune-up type fight. I feel Earl would probably be cool with it too, which honestly they all should be cool with it. Like, you guys need to rob the bank as much as possible. Like, he comes in heavy. Lemieux, yeah. Keith always has something. Yeah. I hate that Keith is always injured, bro. Even he was even when we saw him. What did he do after Pacquiao? What were we at? Oh, Spence Porter. He was commentating on that fight, and he has like his hand wrapped up. It's messed up, man. Poor dude. Crump's the best at 147. Oh yeah, we talked about that earlier. Him and Spence are really, really like a 1A, 1A, 1B. I'm not gonna say who's A and B because I don't know. But back to who do I want to see Pacquiao fight? I don't know, man. I mean, I guess at this point, the top three out welterweight in no particular order are, probably Spence, Crawford, and Pacquiao. Man, that's a good question. Who could Pacquiao fight? I kind of like the Pacquiao-Mikey Garcia fight. Mikey Garcia would need a win against a big win versus Vargas. But I think that fight probably generates the best interest, at least for Pacquiao. Tyron, bad dude. Because they're both kind of smaller-ish welterweights. Well, Pacquiao's just a decent, solid-sized welterweight, but in the sense of not having to melt down to the weight class is what I mean by smaller. When I say, because Jesse doesn't have to melt down to the weight class like Earl does. Sean does. Sean's a big guy. Keith, Danny, maybe a little bit. I don't know. I guess at this point, yeah, Pacquiao I like the Garcia fight because I feel like I honestly feel that Terrence is just not going to get made. That it didn't make it when he was the top-ranked Pacquiao, and the Spence fight, I feel that it's probably too big of a risk for Pacquiao right now, being that I don't know. Spence is like a huge risk, like enormous, and I don't know if he demands that amount of money just yet. Now, he probably demands the most of anyone out there, because I wouldn't say Terrence is a bigger star than him. Mike is a big star. That's why I kind of like the Mikey fight. But as far, I guess, for me, I just kind of want to see fun fights that Pacquiao could be in, because for me personally, like, I like Pacquiao. I've liked Pacquiao. I used to work out at the Wild Card Gym with Pacquiao when everyone could work out with Pacquiao. Like, he was just another fighter in the gym. So my roots go kind of deep with Pacquiao as far as that. That was before I started any of this stuff. But so I more want to see fun fights with Pacquiao. I feel that his legend is already bigger. You go into a random room and say, "Hey, Pacquiao's here." In anything. Like, go to a graduation, go to a restaurant, whatever, go anywhere, and you could say, "Hey, Pacquiao's here," and people are like, "Where?" And I don't think, no one in the game. I mean, obviously Floyd's not in the game anymore, But he's like on that Floyd, like Floyd. Like people know who Floyd is. People know who Pacquiao is. People who don't know fights, fight like in like girls who don't like sports know who Pacquiao is, who know who Floyd is. You know what I'm saying? My mom knows who Pacquiao is. Like people's grandmothers might know who Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather's are. Like they don't know who Spence and Crawford are, and anybody else. So like Pacquiao's basically just, and I don't think Pacquiao in his prime would would probably at least be favored to beat all these guys. But now this Pacquiao, I don't know. It's almost like you're passing the torch like on purpose or something. Like if you're fighting like a guy who's pound for pound considered the best. I don't know. I just don't. Maybe part of me doesn't want to see Pacquiao get beat up, and it's more of a possibility with like a big Earl Spence and a big Terrence Crawford. I don't know. Pacquiao. That's a good question. I kind of like the Pacquiao retire answer. I like that. How do you get into boxing, or when do you become a reporter? Exactly. Pacquiao's a household name. See what I mean? 1992. That was a good year for me. It was a good year for music. A good year for me. I was 9 years old. The fuck. But 9 years old was a good year though. I do remember that being a lit year. But how did I? Bro, I feel I'm old. I'm not old. I'm like right in the middle of my prime. 92 was some good ass music. Thank you. Appreciate that. Kalesko. Is that how you say it? I'm sorry, what'd you ask? Oh, boxing. Yeah, bro. I was, like I was telling you, I've always been into boxing. And in college, I met a buddy of mine, named Marco, as Filipino dude. And, I was in some like Chicano studies class and did some like speech on boxing or something, because it was like I was mixing Chicano stuff with like boxing somehow, and just so I could talk about what I want to talk about. And I think it was a report on Oscar De La Hoya, actually, now that I'm thinking about it more. But anyway, I feel like you guys feel me on this, like as fellow boxing fans. Like when someone talks about boxing, you kind of test them a little bit and kind of like, yo, do you really know boxing, or are you just like bullshitting? Like, you just know like Pacquiao and Floyd and kind of that type of thing. But so this Marco came up to me, and we started talking about it, and it turns out he went to the wild card, and this was right after Pacquiao had knocked out Barrera. And I was already into boxing. Like I've been into boxing since I was a kid. Like my dad took me to like those hood East LA bars where like back in the day, I remember my dad ordering a beer and the dude had a Coke can cut out. So it was like a sleeve of a Coke can, and he put it over the Budweiser can so that my dad could like drink outside, and it said Coke on the outside. That was funny. I still remember that. But like bars like that. My daughter wrote an essay about Johnny Tapia in high school. Yeah, man. Yeah. See what I mean? I feel people gravitate to, but I feel people gravitate to fighting, I feel like. But yeah, oh shit, I was supposed to get gas there. I'll do that later. But yeah, so like I went to those, I remember going to those old East LA bars with my pops, and they let me in because I was with him, and he was like a local. And so we'd watch fights at the bars. Yeah, I was always loved going to fight parties and watching the fights and all that. And then in college is when I really got into it. And then yeah, kind of long. I really should put that story on that full story on how that worked out. But but yeah, I just basically started. What made you want to be a boxing reporter? Uh, I think I just loved the fight game so much, and it was just always what I did. Like every weekend, I was like, buying a 12 pack and like a bag of like hot and spicy chicharrones and like order myself a pizza. And that was my Saturday, man. Whether people were coming through or not, I was getting lit watching fights. Whether my peoples were coming through, or I had a full house, or it was just me. And I just realized and even at work when I was doing like different office jobs or whatever, I was just always paying attention to boxing, and so I just decided one day, try to take a poke at it and just kind of start from the ground up, man. Who was my favorite boxer growing up? Probably growing up was Oscar De La Hoya, I think, because of all the similarities. Like I went to school in East LA. I went to the same middle school that Oscar De La Hoya went to. Um, like so, yeah, I remember my English teacher, because Oscar was getting big at the time, and she was like clout chasing. she was like, oh yeah, Oscar De La Hoya is my student, this and that. But it always stuck to me because I like boxing, and so yeah, Oscar was a favorite fighter of mine growing up. That left hook, man, was something. He would just clean people's, especially when he was smaller, when he was like 130, 135, like that. Even at welterweight, it was still pretty devastating. But fucking at the light, he was just turning people lights out with that left hook because he's naturally left-handed, and the left was fast as fuck too. Um, Johnny Tapia, man, I like Johnny Tapia. I like that HBO special that Johnny Tapia HBO did on Johnny Tapia. That was real cool. Should I go back? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back. That was a really good one, man. I really like that special. What was the name of that? Like Mi Vida Loca or something? It was something like that. Or My Crazy Life, I think it was in English. But I want to say that's what they called it, the Johnny Tapia thing. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think so. All right, Pete. So yeah, so peep that. I will be, like I said, I missed this Monday. But in my defense, there also wasn't. 50 Cent was in the making of that? I didn't know that. 50's a fight fan, man. I saw 50 at a Bellator I covered in San Jose, and I should have went up to him and asked him boxing, but it was like every now and then us media people get like we'll get invited to the cool stuff every now and but also with the unspoken, maybe sometimes spoken, kind of agreement that we're not going to be filming stuff and doing stuff like that. So that's why I didn't roll up on 50 time. But I really want to talk to 50 about fighting because he knows his fighting, and he's kind of lightweight trolly. So I want him to, like I don't know who he's beefing with at the time or what, but I'm just going to throw everyone at him, and whoever he feel, especially please let somebody owe 50 money when I talk to him about whoever you like. I just want to talk to 50, and I want to ask him someone that might owe him money, because then I know he'll be lit for sure. Because 50 doesn't fuck with you if you owe him money. He doesn't fuck with that. Is Andy Ruiz making a comeback? He let me down too, but I still like him. Oh man, man, these people are letting you down, bro. I don't know, Omar. We gotta get him to keep winning, bro. But Andy, I'm sure, is coming back. If PBC does the right thing, they should have him headline at Staples Center, because He said, tell Cindy she don't know me, but tell her hi. I'll tell her hi. um, yeah, man. I think PBC. I'm telling. I've been saying this to people, and this is the first time I'm saying it like publicly, but PBC needs to put Andy Ruiz in a main event at Staples Center, like maybe March-ish or something. Um, like maybe, yeah, like mid-March. Oh, March Madness is on. That's why everyone stays away from March. I forgot about that. Everyone, all fight sports tend to stay away from March. There has to be. I know March Madness is cracking, but there has to end late on Saturdays, doesn't it? I don't know much about March Madness, um, but anyway, Andy should be in like a main eventing against someone decent. Um, someone in like top 10ish or top 50, maybe more top 15ish. So let's have Chris Arreola fight Andy Ruiz. They're both pretty funny. They're both like gente. Arreola just had that fight against Sam, because I don't know. I'm sorry, bro. I never can remember how to say your name. Kowinski, whatever his name is. The Polish dude. Arreola just had like a heavyweight record-making fight with that dude. They threw like a million bajillion punches like in the whole shit. Was it over like 100 punches around or some shit? Yeah, they there you go. Put him right. I agree, bro. Chris Arreola, Andy Ruiz, two Mexican Americans. They both speak Spanish, so you can hype the whole shit up. In Spanish and English. Chris Arreola had a good showing for himself. That's a dope fight. I like that fight. PBC, get at me, bro. All right, peeps. I'm gonna head out, but I am gonna be posting all this footage up now that I'm almost home. I appreciate you guys watching, all of y'all. Kalesco, did I say that right? Omar, appreciate y'all. Ricardo, all you guys commented. 1992. I appreciate you all, man. Thank you all for watching and subscribing, checking out the channel. I'm gonna try to bring you guys more content of me live and me interacting with people, kind of behind the scenes stuff. That I feel you guys kind of like the stuff that I bring you guys. I feel like that's why partially being successful, because you like guys seeing all the background stuff. So appreciate y'all. Thanks, Omar. Thanks, Kalesco. See you guys, and yeah, peep the footage. I got one-on-ones with people. Got some good stuff too. So thank you for watching. See ya.